All right, what's up guys, and welcome back to Ben's Big Drive. Today we are joined by my great friend, Coach T. Coach T, how's it going, big guy?
We got to redo it because I don't, am I looking at here or am I looking at the camera? My camera's kind of...
So we're not doing that again. I think that's hilarious.
We'll just start with that.
Oh, that's how we're starting. That's how the video goes.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it.
So our plan for today is I reached out to Coach T, and I respect the way he throws, and I respect how far it goes when he throws, and I'm very jealous. And so what I wanted from Coach T was for him to take a look at my form, because he does a great job teaching backhand form. If you haven't checked out his channel, go to Slingshot Disc Golf at youtube.com and learn how to throw a little farther, a lot farther maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed. But what I asked him to do is to break down my form, and what we're gonna do today is he's picked out one thing that we're gonna kind of go over in detail, and he's gonna help me with some next steps, and hopefully I'll be coming back with some results and be able to make you proud with your info. So let's go ahead and dive into the footage.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. And I'm a big fan of the channel, and I'm just a big fan of your form journey. Anybody who watches my channel knows that it may not be the most professionally put together, but I like to get into the form. So let's just get right into it. Let's get right into the form.
Let's just get right into it.
All right. This is going to be one basic concept. I just think that this is the right pathway for the disc. I think people are starting to catch on that the disc goes out, in, and out. It doesn't go on a straight line, right?
Right, the wide rail philosophy.
Wide rail. Yes, which is really just proper extension, in my opinion. So the idea behind this is to put your arm in a place to succeed. Put your arm in a position to where you can't straight pull, right? You put yourself in a position to where you have to go in and out. And so I'm going to call it the extension in to out just for this, so you know what's happening. This is only extension.
You're saying out is the extension, in, and then out again. So we're only going from in to out.
Yes, in to out. Just the extension.
Okay, so disc into there, out to the release.
Yeah, and anybody who watches my channel knows that words are hard. You know
words are hard, and yeah, they create some false conceptions. So we're just going to use in and out instead of all the...
with extension.
Yeah.
One thing is, I would like to see you start with that L shape, right? That L shape that the pros get into right there, because that will start you in. Drew is in that in position, and now he's coiling. You can see how much more you're coiling than him.
I look like I'm more like unraveling, and he's coiling.
Yeah. So, great thing to think about is less is more. That's the backhand. Less is more. So he's in, and he's not really doing much but coiling. And then he extends out. So he starts in, out, away from his body.
Yeah, out and away.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is, we should give a shout out to Overthrow for getting this this footage lined up.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I've definitely used it on the channel before. It is a great thing that they did. So shout out Mikey and Josh.
For you, when we look to the right here, you're not in that L shape, and the disc is you can think of it as it's already out. And as you come back, it's going in, if that makes sense. So he ends up out, you end up in, to where your body is now in the way, and the only pathway through is more of like a straight pull.
Right, you're saying out as in away from the body, and then in as in towards inside of the frame of my body.
Well, you're blocking yourself from whatever target you have going, right?
Right.
And it's also doing that also makes it kind of results in a bunch of things. Like your head will go back easier, your legs will go back easier. You'll turn too much because right here, like because you're turning so much, your leg is not really in what I would call a ready position to kind of turn the hips quicker. And because he's not turning as much, he can stay on the ball of his foot easier, and his knee is actually, it's closer to being able to just shoot and turn the hips. He's putting his leg also in a position to drive rotation quickly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So he can get through before the arm. Where you're at, and you do a good job of driving rotation, actually. I think you even use your leg a little bit. Basically, I'd like to see you balance on the ball of your foot and do these one steps. Getting on the ball of your foot will help you not turn back too far. And if you focus on starting with this L shape, right? You start with the disc there, you keep your arm loose and you keep it in that L, and you work on coiling first to where the disc will come in and you'll feel it in the core, you'll feel actual stretching. Also, it'll help you keep your head in a good spot. The less you turn, the more you stretch and keep the head there. You're less is more, right? So
yeah,
you'll come in and then extend out. So you'll coil a little. No, you'll coil. Keep the L shape.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm just thinking it through.
Well, you went like
That's
that.
What I'm here for.
Because the whole idea is to eliminate the side push here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you always want to maintain kind of this angle. I feel like shorter shot, all the way to a long shot. It never goes like this. So we want to eliminate that. And the best way to do that is, I think the pros, they don't really extend at the start of their coil because they're really focused on just getting that spring in the core. So they coil up and then they extend out.
So you're saying, though, don't extend from here. It's not this. It's this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That makes sense.
And then, so say you successfully do it and you got the disc out of your way. When you do turn, now like the whole idea is to turn and get the whole hips and the whole body through before the arm. So a slingshot's the arm. But still, if you're out here and it does come through at the same time, you're still going to get a lot more power, a lot more spin, more accuracy, because you're at least having the disc go from the V in out, right? Because that's how you create way more spin when you're just kind of uncurling out as opposed to trying to keep it on a line and involving the shoulder. It's hard. All of this is so hard to get down. It was the most difficult journey in any sports that I've gone through.
Absolutely,
But the payoff is once you do kind of figure it out, because it's not really about like good form. I mean, everyone's form looks different. It's about using the right muscles at the right time to get the most out of your body, right? So once you do figure it out, it is much easier. Like I feel like you're putting in a lot more effort than Drew is.
For sure.
Especially with the back turn, because Drew puts all his effort into the hip explosion, which is almost unhuman.
Yeah, it is absolutely inhuman.
Yeah.
So where I guess my next question is, where do I go from here? What type of, do you recommend going from a standstill and trying to get that extension from elbow to wrist down instead of from shoulder, elbow, wrist, just getting that one lever action, like going from a standstill and then maybe moving it up to a one step?
Yeah, I don't really like standstills in general where you actually don't move both legs, but you can still do that. I just think it's like really jamming your knee up, in my opinion. Like it feels like I'm in handcuffs or something. I like the one step so you can control the momentum more, right? So,
well, yeah. I mean, I watched your last video on the X step and you talk about how soft that last step is. And that's kind of, it's possible, but throwing full power from a standstill isn't, I don't think is helpful in terms of if you're measuring for distance. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to up your standstill max distance, which was what I was doing, and kind of realizing that you need that last step to get everything in motion when you're going for a max distance shot, not when you're going for a placement shot, but if you're trying to work on distance, maybe getting the basics of the hips rotation down in a standstill quickly and then moving on to a one step.
Yeah, and I think both of those things are good because you take out the momentum. But I think in reality, you just have to stay loose, get on the ball of your foot, do the one step, and try to focus on just coiling and feeling just a little coil in the core. And then, because, Drew Gibson is very compact and he has like no motion at all. So he literally just holds that L shape and goes like that. When Paul Macbeth, right, he does a little pump. But
yeah, the forward pump to get the, yeah.
And I do that actually on my full power drives too. And that's it kind of turns it into a swing more, but it's very controlled. And it's still, if you look at Paul Macbeth, he still comes in with the L and ultimately ends up just extending out.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe try to hold this L shape and just stay loose and just go really slow and try to coil and extend and then come through. Just play with it. And just set up the camera behind you and don't stop until you see it kind of act like that. Yeah, I see a lot more distance for you, man. I think you're more athletic than you realize, and I think you got some explosiveness, especially with I think you're good with your muscles. You're good at rotating. Yeah, we just got to get you in the right positions.
I appreciate you, man, and I appreciate what you're doing for the sport and the way that you're kind of breaking down backhand form into an accessible way. And I appreciate that you took the time to do it for me.
I've been a fan of your channel since I put my channel up. And even doing this with you now, I feel like I'm talking with a celebrity, man. So
I feel the same way. So it's mutual here. All right. So thank you so much, Coach T. Again, go check out Slingshot Disc Golf. If you haven't, you are crazy and I won't accept it. So you guys go check out Slingshot Disc Golf, and I'm going to go hit the field and follow along for more of Coach T's Ben's drive.
Ben's big slingshot.
Ben's big slingshot today.